You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Wow.
It is Christmas morning as we are recording this.
Yeah, we just went and there's nothing under the tree. That's a little upsetting.
Well, it's because we're. This honestly, me saying that might get this in the first 10 seconds of the episode might get it removed from YouTube.
Why would you do that?
Honestly, I'm going to bleep those
first
words.
Of all, that's fucked up. I'm saying because we didn't have a tree.
I was channeling Kanye West. I honestly, we're Jewish.
I do not like that. I'm telling you right now.
We're Jewish.
I do not like that. That's terrible. Those words should never be put together.
Santa Claus is anti-Semitic.
Okay.
He only rewards people for. He only rewards non-Jew or yeah.
Is that a tough saying? Are you having this a little seizure?
He only reviews Christian reviews. What the fuck? It's early. It's early. It's Christmas morning.
Take a break. Okay. Santa. I
haven't had my coffee yet.
Santa gives to all kids.
No.
He doesn't even exist. Don't worry about it. You get plenty.
Yeah, I know.
You're not a kid. You're
but not from Santa. I get it from.
I want to apologize to everybody. That was really
by the way, I am gonna bleep those words because otherwise YouTube might be like, no, this video
inappropriate. So I just want to say this.
I said, no, I'm joking.
I hope everybody had a beautiful. We are right. Christmas morning we were doing this. I hope by the time you hear this, Christmas will be over, and then we have New Year's.
It literally will be. This comes out on Monday.
That's what I said. By the time you hear this, Christmas will be over. What's wrong with that sentence?
You said, I hope by the time you hear this.
No, I hope you had a good Christmas. Okay. Yeah. So I hope you had a great Christmas and a beautiful time with your family. And I'm sure that most people will be off on Monday when you're listening to this. And everybody, I hope you're staying warm and safe and just enjoying your loved ones because it is freezing. It is in the 40s in South Florida. It is way too cold for us.
Why'd you put on your radio voice?
I don't know. I did. I noticed that, but I was like, I'm going to let it go.
It's freezing here. What the fuck?
No.
Usually we're complaining in this room. I'm like, oh my God, it's too hot. I'm cold.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
We've got our Dunkin', not a sponsor though, even though the cups are here.
That's okay.
Speaking of not a sponsor, do you know what that just reminded me of? What did that remind me of when I said not a sponsor?
Not a robot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a niche joke too. I'll just tell it because why not?
But just be normal, please, and don't have a seizure or don't use disgusting words.
Oh, okay. It's so specific, such a niche thing. After the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine, well, they can't answer me, but if you know the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's not on anymore, is it?
No, it ended.
Okay.
But at the end of it, they would run the production company credits, and one of them was
not a robot,
not a doctor. Oh. It was Dr. Gore Productions, and so it would say not a doctor. And Dad, it was one time the whole family was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and the credits came up, and Dad, I guess, wanted to show us that he knew what it was going to be. I don't know why. He was like, I'm going to say, in his mind, he was probably like, I'm going to say not a doctor, right as they say not a doctor on the show. So it comes around, and Dad goes, not a robot. And he meant to say not a robot.
What, bro?
Which is not even, it's not even it's not a doctor, first of all. But he thought it was not a robot.
It's not a doctor?
When it says
it's not a doctor.
It says not a doctor.
Right, but you said it's not a doctor.
Okay. So, but then Dad said it's not a robot, but the way he says robot is robit because he's, I don't know, where does that even come from?
It's my accent.
But so it was just very funny.
It was funny.
Not a robot.
And this is many years ago.
We're like, what the fuck?
And my Bloom boys, you give them a fucking inch and they take a foot. You can't there's no break with these kids.
It was very funny.
It was. I mean,
but Dunkin' Donuts is not a sponsor. They're just the only place that's open on Christmas because they're run by Indians who don't celebrate Christmas.
I think things should be open.
Solidarity. We don't celebrate Christmas and Indians don't. And Chinese don't.
You're a strange bird.
And Muslims don't.
You're a strange bird.
Well, that's like Jews usually get Chinese food.
Which we should have last night.
We should have gotten Indian food.
It was actually, no, I won't eat Indian food.
Why?
I just don't like the smell of it.
Indian food tastes so good though. It might be it's a top 3 cuisine for sure.
I think you'd be in the bathroom the next day.
No. That's like Indian food from the 80s when it wasn't good. Or you're just sensitive. You're too little sensitive white American stomach.
Yeah, that's what it is.
My stomach is cultured. It can handle. Well, yeah, it definitely is. I eat everything. And I don't my stomach is fine with everything except bread or gluten. And then it's fucked. But Indian food, it's fine.
Okay. It was a nice day yesterday though, wasn't it? It was nice last night.
Christmas Eve.
I enjoyed it. Just staying at home, relaxing, fire pit outside, smoking a cigar.
That's what Christmas is all about.
It was nice.
It is actually what Christmas is all about.
No, it was nice. I enjoyed it. And we're heading to our niece's, your cousin's wedding in California, in San Diego, which we're very excited about. That's going to be a nice week.
When this comes out, we'll be in California. Yeah.
It'll be a nice week. All your cousins will be there.
It's the first time the whole family, that side of the family, every single member that's alive.
Except Pa, right.
Well, every single member that's alive will be there. It's the first time maybe in 15 years.
It'll be nice having cousins, all the cousins together.
Yeah.
I'm
the last time that's happened.
We're not doing a whole family photo. That's never happening.
You know that's going to happen.
That'll be interesting.
It's not going to happen because some people aren't going to join, but you know that it's going to be tried. Or we're going to get like...
I guess the wedding photographer, but I'm not doing it. I don't care. But I want all the cousins. That'll be nice. It'll be a nice week.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Cool.
I'm excited. We'll see.
There's maybe some good footage.
What do you mean footage?
Filming. It could be.
We're not filming it. We're not going around with the group. You mean good content?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
But it's not good content because we can't talk about some of that. We
can't
talk
Patreon. You can.
We can't really talk about family drama that way because there's going to be some drama for sure.
Well, not by me.
Yeah, you say that. One word triggers you.
You destroyed your nails, huh? Again?
No, I didn't. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they're all red.
Not at all.
All right.
That's just how my nails are.
All right. All good. I got them pedicure and manicure the other day. They look pretty good.
Gay?
No, not at all. Got to maintain. You got to keep looking clean and look good.
Gay?
No, I don't agree with you. You have to look nice, successful.
I look nice.
No, listen. You got to keep like having hair in your nose, or your fucking ears, or coming up your collar, or the disgusting cuticles, or nasty feet. You got to look fucking clean. Period. Drop the mic, bitches.
I do look clean.
I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying in general, someone has to.
Yes, it's important to look.
No, but see, like to me,
I know I didn't
shave the neck.
I usually do. I didn't have time, but I brought all my shaving shit for.
No worries.
California
I'm just saying, like to me, it's very important that
I brought my Manscaped.
It's literally about.
That is a sponsor.
Yes, it's literally about looking clean and crisp, and people might not know what
put together.
Right. People might not know what it is. Like for example, on a car. I know it's a stupid analogy. Having a nice license plate frame. People might not know what it is, but it does make a difference. Like speaking of, you don't have one in the back of your car.
I know it's in my trunk. I just
haven't talking about it for ages.
The problem is I don't have a garage, right? Like my car gets valeted, so it's like hard for me to like go down to my car and do something. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you this: if you won't be here Saturday morning, or you won't, because I'm saying the cars are coming. They'll detail your car.
Saturday morning is New Year's Day. I definitely won't be here.
I'm just letting you know.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Then the following weekend,
I'll be here the following weekend.
I think I'm in Miami with you guys.
Okay, so then
we'll figure it out.
I don't know,
but because I can get your car detailed. All right, let's move on. Okay.
What was I going to say? Oh, this thought came into my mind yesterday, and then you just reminded me of it because you said like put together, and then you have to look good. And I was thinking the other day, I was like, how do I even?
Wait, did you text mom about?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, go ahead. How do you bring it up? Something you want to?
No, it's not a bad thing. I'm just because I was thinking, I was like, oh, there's some times where it'll be like me, you, and mom, and I'll be like complaining about Bryce doing something, or right, it'll be like me, you, Bryce, and mom, or me, yeah, and we'll be complaining about Burke doing something.
Complaining's the wrong word. It's not complaining.
Venting or
just
sharing
talking, right shit, like annoying things.
What I mean, like something that the other person does. Like we'll be talking behind a back, but not in a bad way. Just like that's what people
say the
do.
Same thing in front of the person.
But then I was thinking, because I was like, I know what I say about everyone else behind their back, or what I would say to their. And then I was thinking, like, I was trying to think, what do people say about me? I was thinking my friends and family, and I was like, I honestly couldn't think of things, and I was like, that's a problem in and of itself that I'm like, I can't think.
All right, so let's talk
of
about
things that I do bad.
I'll tell you what.
So I wanted to bring it up. I was like,
okay.
What do you and Bryce complain about me when I'm not there? Because like I'll complain, I'll be like, Bryce leaves his fucking shoes in the thing, and it's so annoying. He never does it. Right? Okay. What is so annoying that I do?
Okay, first of all, I don't think there's anything really so annoying about any of you kids. I gotta be honest.
You know what I mean? Like
I'm just prefacing that as a loving father.
I'm just prefacing that before I'm about to destroy you.
You want to know what mom and I say?
Behind my back, yeah.
Not behind you.
Well, it is behind my back.
This is a good topic because it's interesting. I thought we talked about
because
this
then
before.
it also will make you a better person. I was thinking by myself. Oh, it was on the train right up here.
So you really can't think any flaws about you.
Well, I was trying to think like, what are my
well,
friends?
flaws are a little bit different than what people write.
Right. It's not flaws. It's
Right.
just like things that you do that someone would be like even like when I talk to Bryce about our friends, you know, there's some like friends where I'll be like, dude, last night so-and-so was
Of
being
course,
so
that's
annoying because they did
100%
this.
normal.
But I was trying to think like, what is it that I do that my friends find annoying? And I was like, I don't fucking know. I am not annoying. But then I was like, that's a problem that I can't reflect, like self-reflect.
Not really a problem. That's not a problem. If that's your biggest problem, you
I didn't say it's my biggest problem, but
what's your biggest problem?
I don't have any problems.
Okay, so
that's my biggest problem. That's my biggest
that's
problem.
not a problem. You're fucking 26 years old. You should not have problems.
What I'm saying is my biggest problem is that I don't think I have anything wrong with me.
No. Okay. So So here's what I think. What Mom and I think. We think you need to. And this is an interesting thing, and I've said this to you before. Because you are really a smart kid, like I'm saying, really well-read, smart, intellectual kid, which works to your advantage, it also works to your detriment. You're almost like sometimes like a 50-year-old when you should be a 26-year-old in the way you view.
Like what? Like you find that annoying? Like if you were hanging out and I was gone, and then you'd be like, "Oh, that's so annoying."
Like sometimes, like
that's
you're moody.
I mean.
You're a little moody.
Yeah, definitely.
You're definitely moody.
I could see my friends being like, "Oh, Bronson was so annoying when he got in his bad mood." I could see them saying that.
Right. So you're a little moody.
That's true. Especially like when we'll go out, I'll be like when I'm done with the night, I'm done. So at a certain point,
nothing wrong with that.
But I'll be like, I'm done, and I'll leave. I could see my friends being like, "Oh, Bronson always when he's done, like he can't just hang for the night." I could see them being annoyed by that.
I don't blame you with that because I think that's a positive quality because you've reached what it takes most men 20 years of being married and realize how valuable time is, that now like all my friends will be like, all right, I'm done. And that we're done.
Well, at a certain point in the night, it's like, all right, I accomplished everything I wanted to for the night. Where else is this going to go? I'm going to remove myself. You guys have fun till 4 in the morning.
Right.
It's 1:30. What else is going to happen?
Yeah, by the way, 1:30, if you're done 1:30 anyone should be done at 1:30. There's no need to be out till fucking 4 in the morning, period. Yeah. So I think that's a positive.
I've already had my fun. I've already danced. I've already talked to you guys. I've already talked to girls. What else more can I do?
I 100% think that's a positive. I think that your moodiness is what something Mom and I talk about.
Yeah. Although I can definitely feel that my moodiness ebbs and flows like me being moody ebbs and flows, not my moods. You know what I mean? There will be some months where I feel much more moody than others.
You're not, okay. Your mood, I don't understand the difference between your moods or you being moody. I don't understand the difference. But either way, you're just moody. Like you get hangry. Like you need a Snickers.
The word moody is now sounding funny.
No, so you need a Snickers. Yes. Okay. That, and I think that you are too quick to jump to conclusions and be so adamant about it.
I'm not. That's a joke.
Okay. You need to be a little more open-minded. And I think that sometimes when we have these discussions, you're like, okay, I see it. So I think that just comes with age. And I also, again,
but
because let me just finish.
That's not like a surface level thing. I'm talking about
no, you're not,
like Bryce leaving his shoes. That's what I'm talking about.
But
honestly, that's like a thing that annoys me. I'm not talking about like,
okay.
You know
I don't think there is anything that annoys other than you sometimes just being moody.
Okay.
Like, I love hanging out with my boys. I think, like, for example, that annoys me about you, your moodiness. Another thing that annoys me is I have to ask you many times to get certain things done. That annoys me.
Yep, that's annoying.
Bryce, but I love hanging out. Like, I love hanging out with my boys so much.
It has nothing to do with that.
I'm just saying, right.
I love hanging out with Bryce, but there's many things that he does that annoy the fuck out of me.
Bryce is just a little bit lazy and sloppy, and that's annoying.
But see, I've grown a lot with living with Bryce. Maybe it's just because I've matured, but like...
No, it helps you.
I used to, like when I was 2 years ago, if there was something that like... I don't know how I want to say this. Bryce has taught me to just like accept people for who they are.
A little more mellow.
Like he will always, no matter what, and he doesn't do it out of malice or he doesn't do it to be annoying, but no matter what, he always leaves his bag in the front. Always. And I've talked to him 75 times more.
I fucking hate that. You know, you're my kid.
But he always leaves it. And so for 200 days, I would say, can you please move your bag? Can you please move your bag? And he would be like, oh yeah, sorry. And then it never changed. So at this point, I've just accepted, okay, that's what he does.
But is that right? I don't know if you should be accepting of that.
But that's who he is. He's not doing it to be bad, right? And so it's who he is. I've tried so many times. So instead of getting annoyed by it, now I just have accepted it and I do it. And so another thing, like Bryce has never, like we have a vacuum, right? And the vacuum thing fills up with dust. And so every time I've seen it, I always empty it. But then every time I see it, it's always full again. And I know it's not me because I didn't use it.
And you know why he leaves it that way?
No, it's not. He leaves it that way because... So
he knows you're going to empty it.
No, this is what I've learned is that he just doesn't think about it. He doesn't... I do. When I see it, I'm like, oh my God, I have to empty that. And I'll try. I'll like go to sit down on the couch to watch TV and my eyes will keep darting.
It bothers you, yes.
They'll dart to the thing and I'm like, fuck, I can't enjoy myself until I empty it.
I'm so much like that.
But I've learned that he doesn't think that way at all. He doesn't even see that it's full. He doesn't acknowledge it.
All right, so let me...
But wait, I've learned a year ago, I'd have been like, Bryce, empty the thing. Or I would have stewed inside and I would have been like, it's so fucking annoying that he does that. And it would have made me angry at him and would have turned it into resentment. Now I'm like, you know what? He just doesn't even see it. It's not who he is. So I'm just going to do it.
Okay.
It takes nothing off of my life. Well, I'm just going to empty it when I empty it.
But okay, I hear you.
And it's made my life a lot more enjoyable because I don't get bothered by those things anymore.
I'll give an example. So I got a huge pet peeve of mine. Huge. Is if we have the recycle bin and the garbage and if people just put things gently on top when it's full and they don't empty it. That's a huge pet peeve. Or when I go into like at home.
Yeah.
Listen.
You always get mad at that.
Huge.
The biggest one is
the hot water. Oh, because
whenever mom washes her hands or washes dishes, she always leaves it on the hottest setting for the sink. But then she leaves it on that hot when she closes. So then I'll go to wash my hands.
Or me too.
And it's scalding hot.
For like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And so even like my bathroom in my office, I have my own private bathroom, but then one for the main office. And I use the main one because I have a lock on mine. I don't want to do the key. And when people throw it's a little garbage pail and it's paper towel. So they either half fits on the floor and you throw it on the floor.
That's really disrespectful.
And I only have 9 people in the office.
Because then you're just making someone else's job.
Let me finish. Or it's to the top and I'm always stepping on it to push it down. And I'm always wiping the counter. These are fucking 9 people. I almost want to play the cameras back to fucking embarrass them. Like, I want to... Those are pet peeves of mine.
Yeah, but... yes, go on.
No, I'm saying... So when mom does that and leaves the hot water on, now I know she doesn't mean it because mom loves me to death, right. But here's what I think. I find it so disrespectful to me. Like what Bryce does to you, whatever. I find it so disrespectful to me. I know she doesn't mean it.
But that's the mental shift that you have to make.
But here's the mental shift that I feel has to be made. If it's important to me not to complain and bitch about it, and it takes her nothing to do it, then you make the fucking effort to do it. I don't have to.
But I've just accepted that they're not going to.
I don't want to accept it.
But it's who they are. But that it's been 5 years of you saying the hot water. So if it's 5 years that hasn't changed, and it's not mom being like,
no, mom's not.
I'm going to keep the hot water to annoy.
She's not like that.
Right? She's just not thinking about it. So you're not going to change.
Oh, I am. I'm going to break that shit, and you're going to say like a fucking wall pony.
But you're wasting. No, but
I don't mind.
I don't mind. Your patience and your time.
I don't mind.
I do mind. So it's not worth it to me anymore. And I've just accepted.
But some things. But you're 26. You're not married yet. Imagine 30 years or 20 years of being married. And you can say, when do I accept? How do I keep accepting? No, I will fight that.
Well, it's certain. There are certain battles that you have to lose.
Yeah, and now hot water one is something I will keep fighting. Fair. Now,
but I was proud of myself for coming to that realization, and I do. It's like it definitely is just a thing. I don't get bothered anymore. Bryce always leaves the shoes in the thing.
But wouldn't it be nice if Bryce went ahead? Wouldn't it be nice for you? Of course it would be nice,
but I know Bryce is a nice person. I know he cares about me. Yes. So of course it would be nice, but he doesn't. So it is what it is. I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
So I don't lose sleep over it, but I like to vent. So I don't resent. Oh, I like to vent, so I don't resent. I like that one.
Boy, Matt.
That's a great one.
TM.
So having Great Danes are... I never grew up with dogs, and I'm a quasi germaphobe, right? I'm very anal retentive, organized, and I don't like filth or germs. Not what affects my life, but I just don't like it.
You're just a neat freak. Like if there's a feather on the floor,
I'm picking it up.
You will be like, I have to pick that up 100%. Right now.
So
most people would just walk right over.
Which annoys the fuck out of me. Having Great Danes
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Has helped me overcome that. A lot of it.
Yeah.
So what would have upset me, and I get this from my dad, what would have upset me dramatically, like, fuck, I'd be so pissed. Now it's like, all right, I clean it, I fix it. It's not there. So that's helped me grow as a person.
I've gotten so much worse with that stuff though. Like how you said you're like Pa. I've gotten so much more like
you are so much like me.
Yesterday I was bringing my suitcase out of my bedroom into the main room, and the wheel hit the door and scuffed the paint just a little bit. I've been thinking about it for 24 hours. It bothered me so much. I was like, we were rushed to leave, and I was like, honestly, I might miss this train because I need to take the paint out and fix the door.
A magic eraser would
No. It chipped the green paint off, so there's a little white mark.
That would aggravate me.
That made me lose sleep a little bit because it's like,
yeah, but that's a good quality. Being a perfectionist. So you know what just happened this morning.
And how you say like, oh, it makes me tight. Like I literally thinking about that door now. I'm like, oh fuck.
So here's what happened with. Well, look, you know me wanting to fix your ceiling with the spackle.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't even live there.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you're definitely way more.
But you're also half my age.
Yeah.
You have time to get to that. This morning I'm packing. It was on the bed. I took the picture of Blue in our room
on the wall.
Yeah. I took the fucking suitcase off with my hand, and the wheel hit the bottom of the fucking wall with the black scuff mark. So what?
We literally are living the same life.
You know what I did? You know what I did? Put it on my list when Centuries comes. I'm gonna tell you. But
the problem is The problem is my brain is like I don't need the list. It's fucking there. Yeah. The image is in my head.
But listen. But normally I would have been pissed. But I'll wipe it.
I'll wipe it. I'm not pissed. It just says like I'm like. It's on my mind.
You don't think the light bulb over the fucking thing is staying in my mind?
It's just on my mind.
There are different personalities. Mom could wait a year and change a light bulb.
Bryce would never change the light bulb.
The minute it goes, and not only do I change a light bulb, but when I buy light bulbs, I have 3 extras. 100%. That's just personalities.
Yeah.
It's just different.
And Bryce just wouldn't even think. He wouldn't even notice that the light was out.
Correct.
And it's just different. So what I'm saying is I've grown, and I'm happy that I've grown because or even like in relationships, like I remember with my ex, like there would be little things that I would be like, it was like nonsense stuff that wasn't a big deal, but I would like stew about it inside. And now I'm just like, I either have to accept the person for who they, like, of course you bring it up multiple times. You're not going to never bring up if something bothers you, but if some little thing bothers you and they never change it, because it's just who they are. Obviously, there are certain things that, like, if they're not changing, then it's like that's a problem.
Yeah, but it also might represent you find it disrespectful.
But that's what I mean. If there's certain things that they're not changing, but like little things like Bryce leaving his shoes in the walkway, it takes me 1 second to just pick the shoes up and put them on the shoe rack.
Yeah, but all right.
And I've told him 7,000 times, and he hasn't done it. So it's just like, okay, I'm not going to waste my breath anymore.
Leaving stuff on the steps. Like I have a huge home.
And it's like you're walking upstairs anyways.
But you gotta leave it on the steps where people could trip. So listen, but
how do we get? Because bringing up flaws.
I think not flaws. I think the only thing that annoys me about you is, sometimes you have a little bit you're moody.
Like, what will you say? Like I'm talking like when you talk behind my back. What will you say? Not like you won't be like, oh, Bronson's
so here's what Mom and I talk about you back.
Because I'll be like, Bryce is so fucking annoying that he leaves the shoes.
Sometimes say, we don't know why you're fucking moody.
Okay.
Sometimes you're a little bit curt, like short with us.
Yeah.
Okay. Which we say, we were not happy with with just doing the podcast for 2 years. So now that you work, we think it's much better. We were really unhappy about that.
Okay.
Because we just don't think it's a good thing to not. Like, don't you feel better if structure?
It's much better work going into an office.
You're right.
And getting a paycheck from a company.
Right.
Is nice.
So we think and really now you have a lot of direction with law school and this and that. So that's really Bryce, we don't need to
go into Bryce's stuff. He's not here.
I'm saying that's what we used to complain about you.
But
we don't complain about
what about you? Like because I was thinking, I was like, I should try to think of what my friends say behind my back, because then that'll make me a better person. Like, what do you think your friends say behind your back?
People probably say I'm loud.
That's no.
Okay.
John's so loud? No.
Okay. You're loud too, by the way. You get my voice.
But that's not like a complaint. That's just like, oh, he's loud. But a complaint could be like, you're obnoxious.
Oh, people think I'm obnoxious and sarcastic, but
me too.
But people also say that, but if he loves you, he always has your back and will kill for you.
There are definitely like if I'm like,
but see, I don't care.
No, but it's not. It's important to like most people in life will never reflect on that, and they'll never even think about that, and they'll never right, and that's not good. It's like it's important to know how your friends think about you, good and
no.
bad.
But I think my friends that know me, that know that I love and support them, they say, "Oh, he's the biggest prick of this," but he's always has my back, and he's fucking loyal to the end.
They'll still complain about you. They're like, think about you, the people you love in your life, your friends and family. You still complain.
They
about
say
them.
I'm not the easiest, probably.
Yeah,
which I think I am.
Like
they
I
say
definitely. With like, not the guys that I'm friends with, but girls that I'm friends with definitely will, I'm sure behind my back be like, oh, sometimes he's such a dick. Or sometimes he'll like say.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean.
But wait, so what do you think people say about me?
No,
then?
what do you think people say
I think
about
people
you?
say that he's difficult. He's obnoxious. He's opinionated.
Those are all like the same though.
Yeah, I think that's what they would say about me.
What about like things that you do, like like mom leaving the hot water on, Bryce leaving his shoes?
I think everybody hates when it comes times for me to pay bills or go to
Yeah.
Amex. People hate that moment.
Or just like you text like any little thing. That Bryce and I will wake up every morning. What is this?
Not
charge?
every morning.
What is this charge? What is this $3 charge?
Is that wrong of me?
No.
I'm just asking.
Well,
I
when
know
we
you're
get
not
those
gonna
texts, we'll be like, "Oh shit, do not bother Dad today. He's going through his
No,
bills."
I'm fine with it, but I don't. I think you guys. You guys.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but there definitely are things.
I think that mainly people would probably say he's obnoxious, he's sarcastic, he's opinionated, he doesn't give a shit. But those are all, I think, positive traits. I have to say that.
That's like so. Yeah, there's nothing wrong that we do. Because I'm thinking, I'm like, there's nothing wrong. I don't do anything wrong. I can't think of anything.
No.
And you're like, everything that people think is wrong is good.
No, but now, if you would ask me what you think I can improve on, that's a different story.
That's not what we're talking about.
Right, but because the difference, I know it sounds so fucked up. I don't care what they think, because as long as I know my friends and my family love me and know I love them.
But okay, so then with mom leaving the hot water on, should she know she loves you, but should she care what you think about the hot water?
By the way, mom leaving the hot water will never affect our relationship.
Right, but you just said it doesn't matter because I don't care what they think. So then mom and Bryce can use that same thing. Bryce is like, I don't care what Bronson thinks about me leaving the shoes.
There's a difference. No, because if you or your brothers or your mom said, this is something you did that bothered me, I would want to be a better person.
You just said, I don't care what they think.
No, I mean, if someone says I'm obnoxious, that whatever, I don't really care.
But if mom and I and Bryce were like, you're being obnoxious,
then I would apologize.
Yeah.
My family is the most important. Now, I have a very good close group of friends. Now, if my friends came to me and said, listen, John, what you last night was really bothered you, it was inappropriate, you said something, I would say, I'm so sorry, because I love them. But the general person out there might say, that guy's a dick.
Oh yeah, who cares about
like Larry's over last night. If I just said something last night to offend Larry and he called me up today, I care about.
Right, I would feel bad.
I would apologize. I would never want to be rude to people I care about.
Of course.
So that's
there's different levels, of
right?
course.
Now, if I were to think to be a better person, there's plenty of things I could talk about to be a better person about myself.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation.
Right. I just don't know have the ability or desire to. I like to think I try to be the best version of me, but I know all the time that I could fucking be better. Like, one thing that I always thought about me, like one thing that's so cool about your mom is that, it's going to give me all teary-eyed, but your mom really...
Gay? No,
listen, your mom really has... This is where I think that Bryce and you are more like me out of all the three boys, in the sense where you can go in, make it a non-emotional thing, do whatever needs to be got done, do whatever you need to do, good or bad, to get the fucking job done, period. That, you know what I'm saying? That's the way I am. Like, we will fucking, whatever it is, we don't care if we have to be, whatever it is, there's nothing in our way that will stop us. If we need to get something done for someone we care about, we're getting it done, other than the Wemo lights. So listen, hear me out.
And I'm like, I'm not going to let someone else stop me from doing something.
Like
or especially someone else's feelings stop me from doing what I want to do.
Bryce,
which is probably a little dick.
Listen, no, Bryce and Burke, but it's almost like a warrior mode. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there's
nothing
definitely
wrong.
like a balance to be
Listen,
struck.
there is a balance because you're a good human being. I know I'm a good human being, but on the same token, I have to take care of my entire family. If there's an issue with something and there's a safety or whatever it is, does the family, like you said, if something was going wrong in life, who's the first person you call? You need help. You say, well, boy said it. So you know that I got to put in be that fucking warrior, do what I got to fucking do, take care of my loved ones. So I don't have time to fucking worry about what someone's feelings are. If I'm doing what I think is right.
This episode is brought to you by Manscaped, who you better use for your New Year's resolution, right? It's New Year's coming up. New year, new you.
Less hair.
Or just
better,
or just trim,
right.
Better maintained hair.
Maintained, very important. We talked about that earlier, how it's important to look good and be presentable. And like, for example, Bronny and beauty, you're going to talk about the Manscaped products in a moment, but how you bring it to travel with you because you need to clean up the bottom of your neck.
Yeah, well, they're very portable, the Manscaped product.
They really are.
But New Year's resolutions are like, right, you guys are thinking, because New Year's is next week, so in a couple days. So you're thinking, okay, what are my New Year's resolutions? I'm sure they all involve being a better version of you. And that starts on the outside.
Right. Aesthetically, you need to look appealing to people.
And so Manscaped will help you do that with all their products.
How do they do that, Bronny?
Well, if you head over to manscaped.com and you look at all their products, you can check out the Lawnmower 4.0, which is part of the performance package, which you should just get the whole thing because it comes with everything that you need to be the best version of yourself.
It's phenomenal.
And it is important to like keep you can't change the inside if you don't look good on the outside.
The nose hairs, the fucking ear hairs, you can't have that shit. You need to trim that shit.
Yeah, so check out Lawnmower 4.0. That's their beard trimmer, or it's their hair trimmer. You can use it for every part of your body. And
I use it because I don't have a beard.
Yeah, and you won't nick yourself. It's great. It's waterproof. It's travel. So like we're traveling. I just packed my lawnmower and the weed whacker for the ear and nose hairs. They're small, portable. I charge them once before I leave, and like the charge stays.
Right, you don't need to bring the cords or anything when you travel.
And while you're there, also check out all their other products because like I pack my little ball deodorant, so it's like you never know if it's hot out or whatever. I don't need to worry about downstairs. And if you head over to manscaped.com and you use the code DaddyIssues20, you'll get 20% off your entire order and free shipping on all of their products. So, it's almost the start to a new year. Prepare yourself so that January 1, you are ready to go with the whole Manscaped line so that you can start the year off right and be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, so I know you trust us, you're loyal listeners. We fucking love the products. I mean, it is truly unbelievably, it's hard to even explain because when you use the razor on your chest or your balls or the shaft of your, you know what?
Or your taint.
Yeah. It's
or your ass crack.
No, it doesn't nick. It's fucking unbelievable. It really is a phenomenal product. And we had the prior version before the 4.0. I'm like, no, Bronson, I don't need it. And I got the 4.0 for a holiday present last year. And I got to tell you, it's a fucking game changer.
Yeah, definitely.
So order it, everybody.
Yeah, go manscaped.com, use the code DaddyIssues20, and you'll get 20% off and free shipping.
One that's an amazing quality your mom has is she's genuinely to the core, she's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be good and I could be bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be a dick. Your mom could never be a dick.
Not bad, but like...
Not bad when I'm like doing stuff that's like dark and evil.
I feel the same way. Like, I think I'm a good person, but like there are plenty of times in my life where I'm like not doing what's nice. I'm just like doing what I want to do. Where a lot of, like Bryce 99% of the time, Bryce is doing what's nice.
Bryce and Burke
he's
and
like
your
sweet.
mom.
I'm not
Bryce,
sweet,
right.
I don't think.
Bryce is the sweetest human being. Like, he's the great, just Bryce, Burke, and your mother, again, get me all teared up, have the nicest core.
They're just like have a kind disposition. I don't think I have that.
No, but
it's fine. It's just who I am. But yeah.
I think you're kind because anytime.
Oh, I think I'm a very nice person.
Hear me out. Listen. I think those two and your mother are just genuinely like,
yeah, especially Bryce,
so sweet. Like, just they fight well, they argue well, they're peacemakers. They're
emotional in a good way.
They're generally content in their life, and they're just sweet human beings. You and I, which I think is also positive in many ways.
There's positive and negatives to both.
Correct. So we are more okay.
Things bother us more than them.
Yes, 100%. But
definitely.
but things don't bother us.
Right, certain things don't. Like Bryce will be bothered by other people's feelings.
So Burke with his anxiety.
Burke will definitely be bothered by other people's shit.
So
I've never been bothered by someone else's shit. If someone is bothered by their own shit, I'll like be like, okay, this is what we do to fix it.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, fuck you. But like, it'll never bother me. I'll never worry about someone else's
Perfect
shit.
example, last night, we were talking about
Bryce will worry about someone else's
but
stuff.
It's also, they're so sweet. Like,
Well, they're also like much more empathetic than we are.
correct. They have more compassion.
Yeah.
I wish I was some more compassionate.
Same. Like sometimes I'll watch movies and the'll be like the person who like is the nice guy
I
in the
wish I could be
neighborhood.
like
and
that
I'm like,
person.
I want to be that person. I'm just not.
Correct. Me too.
I'm just not that person.
Like I'm like, that person's so sweet. But then
And like they always got the smile on their
for
face.
like 7 minutes, I'm good, and then I go back to being normal.
100%.
So last night we're talking about punishment.
Bryce is that person.
When Bryce hugs you, feel it. You
And
know
he's
what I'm saying?
just like, he'll always be happy. People always are like,
That's not right. Everybody likes Bryce.
yeah, 100%.
But that's okay.
And not everyone likes me.
That's
And
okay.
Right. It's just the way it is.
Right.
It's
Right.
who I
Same
am.
with me.
Yeah.
But the people that like us know that we always have their back.
Yes, definitely. And even if I'm not like in the best mood around them or like happy-go-lucky all the time with them, they know I still care
Right.
about them.
Mom, I always tell Mom, you married a pit bull, you can't expect to be a Labradoodle.
Right.
Just what you married.
Yeah. And Bryce is definitely a Labrador.
Right.
Or a golden retriever.
Right,
Bryce is a
right,
golden
right.
retriever for
So
sure.
last night we're outside, we're chilling, and we're talking about like punishments. And you always said you always been strict but fair, right? So Bryce was telling a story how he was like 3 minutes late and he got punished for it because his curfew was 11. He came at 11:03, and I heard the story, and in my mind, what I thought, because I didn't say a word.
Tell the story.
Okay, so Bryce, when he was younger, the curfew, when let's say he was like 16 or 17, curfew was
Permit, for
he had to
driving.
be home by 11 o'clock. So he decided to stop at McDonald's with his friends, got home 11:03. So I say, he came on, I go, what time is it? 11:03. He goes, I said, well, I'll give me your car keys. You lost your car for 3 weeks, a minute a week. And he was like, couldn't believe it. And I stuck to it. And that's just the way the rule was, because everyone knew the rules and you've had to follow rules. And I'm not saying it made him a bad kid, but there's consequences. Look, I've done stupid things in my life and there's consequences for that. It's just the way it is. So last night he tells a story to our friends. And I would always definitely, it's not right or wrong, but Mom was always more of the humanistic, compassionate one. I was more of the strict, making rules.
Which is good to have. Imagine if you were both mom or you were both you.
Correct, right. So
Then
what happened was,
it would be bad.
right, so both of us molded you kids into certain ways. So Mom goes, oh my God, I feel so bad. I still have guilt over this, whatever. And you could see it broke Mom, like being the mommy. And to me, I don't agree with that. I don't agree. Like, to me, I'm like, really?
Well, you just don't even feel that.
And I said to myself, I go, when he told that story, I go,
Hell yeah.
bro, in my mind, I go, I did my job.
Right.
Because he's now going to be, he's 24. He thought about it. He still talks about it. It impacted him. He's no worse off.
He's not like, fuck dad.
No, it's not like dad's an ass.
Yeah.
He learned.
Yeah.
And these are lessons that he's going to use for his kids. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
There are definitely plenty of things that even with Zerai, like when Zerai will do something and I'm like, no, I said you can't do that. I'll think back to like shit that when I was her age that I remember, and then some, like if I'll do something, like if I'll say no to her and she'll still do it, and I'm like, no, I said fucking no. Now you have to like go in time
now
out.
when she cries, does it bother you?
No, because when she cries, the first thought that comes to my mind will be like, am I like fucking her up or whatever? And then I'll be like, no, because I remember being that age and dad and mom doing stuff to me. And then I'm not fucked up with that. I'm better for it.
Right.
So then I'll be like, okay, no, I don't feel bad at all because I know it's good.
Here's the way I look at it. When I would say no to you guys and you would cry, or to Zerai and she cries, she's not in physical pain. No one's beating her. So she knows she did something wrong. So she's crying because she's being punished or didn't get her way, or she feels she let you down, right?
Right.
So
She especially cries a lot
Yeah.
because she's like,
correct.
Yeah.
So my point is,
because of that. For
I
sure.
feel no remorse or sadness when you guys or she cries because we have to say no.
Yeah.
That's my role.
Mom, the second
correct.
Zerai cries, or when we were kids, like mom
Broke
will,
her heart.
Yeah, like she
had to
can't-
walk away.
Right. She'll literally walk away or turn around. She
Which I
can't
get.
do it.
Now, I'm not been doing that because I love you less.
Of course not.
I need to be strong.
And you just, yeah, like I won't even feel, like mom will feel that. I just won't even feel it. I'll be like, no, this is what's happening.
Right. If anything, I feel like you took that time away from me.
Yeah.
So here's a good story. So,
It's just interesting how people are so different.
but I think as a man, you need to be that way to create the structure.
But it's not even need to. Like, I just don't even feel some of the things that mom and
What
Bryce
about
will
even
feel.
with Banks? If I'm disciplining Banks, mom gets upset. I'm like, he's a dog.
Yeah.
I have to run it. I'm an
Right.
alpha. I have
And
to
it's
run
like, I don't give a shit about his feelings.
He doesn't even have feelings.
He probably does, but it's like, I don't care.
No.
I act like he doesn't have feelings.
And here's another thing, not sound like this.
He definitely has feelings.
Yeah, but it's my house.
Yeah.
These are my rules. If you don't like my rules,
Right. That's what I mean. It's like, I don't give a shit about your feelings.
even when people come over, if you don't like my rules, don't fucking come over.
Yeah.
This is my house. It's like when a client told me how I should bill, I said, "You're not my fucking partner."
That's so weird.
Was a national company. Said you have to have one African American, whatever, all stuff, and how they bill. They pay in 90 days.
Okay.
And I go, "You're not my partner." I go, "I don't want you as a client."
Yeah, yeah.
So one of the greatest stories, which was great because even Uncle Brant brought this up. Remember when Uncle Brant was living in Florida and came to all his kids, and you were like,
Oh, I remember this story all the time.
Yeah, and you weren't doing
my
your
homework.
Yeah, Brownie was doing his homework, and it's a little kid, and he went to private school, and Brownie was like this. This is when nerds weren't in, like nerdy is in now, but you were like this really like, you were like 13 going on 40. Do you know what I'm saying?
But then the problem with that, problem and not, was I remember when I was a kid, especially younger, in high school I matured out of it, but like in middle school and elementary school, I knew that like anytime a test or a quiz came or whatever, I knew that I knew the answers. So like I wasn't worried about that. So I was like, I don't want to do my homework because I know what's on it.
I never watched you to study because I know you, but when you weren't doing your homework, that was a big problem.
But I remember thinking like at 12 years old, I was like, I don't need to do the homework because I'm going to do well on the test. I know it. Like I would look at the homework and I'd be like, I know this stuff. I don't need to do it because I know it. And so, but that's not how homework is, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
then like always in school, I always had a problem because I just didn't do my homework or I didn't care about it. And I would get bad grades on the homework always. But then I would always ace the test. So the teachers would always get annoyed with me, not in a bad way, but they would be like, Bronson, we know
you have to do homework.
We know you're a great student, but you have to do the work we're telling you to do.
So we used to get calls from the school that you weren't handing your homework. So we'd have these talks with you. And I remember saying, listen, Bronny, I'm going to go ahead and take you to private school and take you to the public school. And we lived in Delray. And I said, when I pull up in my Bentley and they see this little
I remember you saying that.
I said, this is what I say, I go,
yeah.
They're going to, unlike Pinecrest where there's due process and all the nerds and the athletes get along. And I go, you're going to get your ass kicked, right? You can get bullied. And you were crying. And you still didn't do it. And Brant comes down with my nieces and my nephew, and we're going out to dinner.
Yeah, no, you said right when I got home from school, you were like, we have dinner tonight with all your cousins, but you have to have your homework done. And I was like, sure, no problem.
And you didn't do your homework.
And I didn't do it because I was like, I don't want to.
And we're leaving the house on the driveway, and you're on the driveway bawling.
Well, I remember you guys were in the car driving away. I was on my hands and knees.
Begging
and you
to
guys
go
were going
cry.
to dinner.
And
all my cousins, all my brothers.
And Uncle Man like, yeah, you're so mean. How do you do that?
I was screaming on my hands and knees like, Stella, like that shit. And I was like, no, let me go. And you were like, no,
You're
told
not going,
you.
Right.
If you want to go, you have to do your homework. You didn't do your homework, so therefore you can't go.
And I even went
I
one step.
remember being on that driveway.
I remember visually, and I said one step further. I remember saying, I
remember the color of the car driving away.
I said,
it was the tan Escalade.
Yeah, I said, I'm disappointed the fact that you took this time away that I can spend dinner with you and the family. Mm-hmm. And you were crying, and we pulled away, and Mom and Uncle Man goes, you're so mean. But I don't.
It wasn't mean at all.
Because
no, it's
I
not
didn't
mean.
beat you up.
It's not mean.
Right.
And you weren't like, fuck you for not doing your
No.
homework. And it's not like you just all of a sudden were like, you're not coming to dinner. You told me
right
hours before what I needed to do to go to dinner.
Right.
That's not mean.
No, I don't. But see, when I left that, I didn't even feel what I felt. And I remember how I felt back then. What I felt was that, okay, huge learning moment, teaching moment.
I remember it vividly to this day.
And
probably PTSD from it.
I guarantee you he won't do that a second time because I meant fucking business.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Interesting, right?
That. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some funny stories, man.
But it's just crazy how people are so different and you're just born away. Like it's not like the way I am, how you're like, oh, you're so much like me and Bryce so much like Mom. We didn't learn that shit. We were just born the way we were.
100%.
Bryce, the
there
day
is a
he was
genetic
born,
component.
Bryce at 2 years old was Bryce, right? He was
fucking
just
cute.
Bryce.
Come on.
And I was just
How
me.
cute is that, Brycey? when you teased him in that little video.
Oh, yeah.
He's so cry. Come on, man. That's the cutest
Bryce has been a bitch since day one.
No, he's not a bitch. He's the cutest. He always looked up to his older brother. You always took care of him. He's the cutest fucking kid. He's still cute. That kid's fucking cute.
He's cute in like a weird way.
No, there's nothing weird about it. I love that kid.
Because he's just like a
doofus.
doofus.
I want to hug that kid. He's going to be a good husband, isn't he? Is he not?
but he needs to man up a little more in terms of his relationships.
I think he's growing.
Yeah.
Grown a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely learn. Like, there's
Even now, look at him now. He doesn't even want a relationship right now. You got to respect that.
There's part of you that is just born the way you are, and there's certain things just like the way you were wired, and you can't change them no matter how hard you try. And then there are other things that you can like grow and mature. Because I've even seen myself over the last 10 years, especially, but like even the last 2 years, you can just see how like, oh yeah, I've changed in that way, or I've forced myself to change in that way, or I've just like naturally matured in certain ways. So it's cool to see like some ways, like I just am the way I am. Like I don't get like the emotion shit or the feeling. I just am that way. But then there are other things where it's like, oh, interesting. I feel that way now, but I didn't feel that way before.
Yeah, you grow. It's called
because I've
maturing.
like learned, or I've like
Growth.
seen how it's affected someone else. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, I think that's
nurture
maturing
shit,
growth. But I think that once you have kids, listen, when I was younger and, I fell in love with your mom, it was like cloud fucking nine. We had the best courtship, whatever. Ronnie, once you have kids, the depth of the emotion you feel, it's unbelievable and inexplainable. Unexplainable. I always confuse those two.
I don't know, actually.
Always waste.
Unexplained.
For someone to read something.
Inexplicable is the word.
And unexplainable. That is a word, right? Doesn't matter. Let's stay on top.
Inexplicable is unable to be explained, and unexplainable. I don't think this is a word. Unexplainable is a word. Unable to be explained.
Same
so
thing.
they're the exact same word.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, when you have children, it's just unbelievable. Inexplainable and
inexplicable.
Right. So I think that part will come. But yeah, that's an interesting thing.
Everyone listening should think about it themselves. Try to reflect. What do my friends...
Wait, what do you think they'd say?
What do I do that bothers my friends behind my back? Because everyone does. Because
100%, Bronson.
Think about if you have you listening, definitely every single person in your life, you have things in your head that are, you're like, oh, that was annoying, or you talk behind your back with your other friends about this friend. So they talk about you behind your back.
100%.
Everyone does. So think about what could they talk about behind my back. It'll make the world a better place if everyone can acknowledge what their friends talk about behind their back.
Well, acknowledge what the friends talk about, and then do you want to change it?
Yeah.
Because just those are two different issues. Do you want to change it?
Even just like acknowledging it is this first step.
I hear you. No,
but changing it,
that's an interesting.
There are certain things that I would be like, there are definitely plenty of times in my life where I do something, or I know that people think about me in a certain way. I'm like, I don't want to be thought about that way. And then there are other things where I'm like, I don't care. That's who I am.
So what is it that you think about me or mom? The photos with mom. Got to stop.
Oh, that's not a big deal.
Yeah, I agree.
But we don't talk about that behind
That's true.
back.
You're right.
We're not like, Mom,
what are you
always thinking
I don't think
photos.
There's probably much you could talk about mom.
I don't think there's really
Mom's
anything.
easy.
Like, I'm trying to think, what do we talk about behind mom's back?
Mom's great.
I don't think anything.
She's a phenomenal mother. You can't get a better mother.
Yeah, I truly, like, behind mom's back, I don't think I'll talk about anything.
Right,
there's plenty of times where we talk about behind your back.
I'm sure. Listen, I want to hear
not
about
bad
this.
stuff, just like...
You will never, there's no mother that exists like your mother to you boys. Honestly, what would you change about your mother to you guys? Zero.
No, I couldn't think of anything.
Right, okay, now let's hear the dirt on me.
No, it's not dirt. But I mean, they're just like we said, like the Bills, Bryson, I'll be like, oh my God, it's so annoying when dad just like always is.
But you understand?
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like,
no, I'm not saying
like when we were
defensive.
And you were like, what flaws? I was like, no, not flaws. Because
Right.
that's not what we're talking about. We're just like surface level shit.
They're annoying little quirks.
Yeah. I don't know.
I've always had a money thing. Always.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of pressure.
Like, what do Bryce and I talk about behind your back? Just like little things that'll be like, oh, fuck, I don't know. I can't think of anything. It's just like because it's all kind of the same. It's just like, oh, that's so annoying. It's not like specific things. It'll just be like, I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Okay, but I'm not being offended. You can say whatever you
want
to
say. I'm not trying to hold it back.
Gotcha.
I just genuinely can't like think of a specific thing.
Interesting. Yeah, because
you just like get bothered easily.
Yeah, I get triggered easily.
Yeah, so it's just like sometimes that'll like you'll get like on us for like nothing. So we'll just be like, oh, it's so annoying. But at this point, it's like it's so long. So it's like Bryce and I won't even like we don't do that anymore, right? Like you'll do your things, and Bryce and I will just like look at each other and laugh or roll an eye. Like we won't talk about it because it's just been so long of the same shit. Right? It's like, oh, whatever.
Right. All right.
That's what it is at this
All
point.
right. No problem. Interesting. What about Burke?
There's a lot of shit that Burke
I miss
does,
Burke.
but
I
we
need to
won't.
spend more time with Burke. I feel bad. I hate him being in college, and then he's home and he goes away on vacation.
It's normal.
I miss.
I mean,
I know,
you
but
got
because I've spent so much time with
right.
you and your brother.
You got jaded because not jaded.
No, spoiled.
It's unfair.
100%.
Right?
I got
Spoiled
because I have
Bryce
two
and
of
I are
my
here
three boys.
so
Right.
often.
I miss Burke.
Because think when I was at college, it was just like I was at college.
But I had the other boys here.
Yeah.
You're right. I 100% got spoiled, and we're very blessed to have you two here. But I really wish Burke was here.
Yeah, and especially having Bryce and I here so much, it then makes it like feel even more abnormal that
As
Burke
a
is
parent,
gone.
right? I want my son here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we don't. But at least we got a chippy fix, which is good. But I want Burke. We miss fucking Burke. I hope he moves back here when he graduates.
I'm sure he will.
I hope.
Well, so we did talk about Eddie like.
But this is great.
No,
though.
I
love this.
But now it's like it's 50 minutes in. It's like, do we talk
No.
about some serious thing, or we just do a fatherly advice?
We'll do
and
the
end it?
serious. All right,
Not
fatherly
even
advice.
serious things, but like I have like news stories, but we'll save them for the Patreon.
Exactly right. So if you're not a Patreon, join. That would be the Christmas gift, the holiday gift to our podcast. If you join for $5 a month.
Yeah, if you want to give me a Hanukkah gift,
Seriously, for holiday gift for $5 a month.
Hanukkah gift.
Holiday gift.
No, because if they're giving the gift to us, they're giving us a Hanukkah gift.
I get it, but I'm
I don't
saying-
want a fucking Christmas gift.
Okay, easy. See, that's annoying.
No, but I don't give a fuck about their.
Okay, no, I think it'd be great if you can give a holiday gift and join the Patreon for $5 a month. And how do they do that, Bronson?
Patreon.com/daddyissuespod.
Okay, that would mean a lot to us. Okay, to
Yeah,
you.
but you
It mean
didn't
a lot
fit it.
to you.
I
felt like
the
I wanted to
cadence
say-
was like you were
Yeah,
saying
a lot
something
to
else.
us. Right, I was move on. Okay.
So we'll just do a fatherly advice.
You got it.
Because I have great new shit to talk
But
about for the Patreon.
We're
Like
almost an hour in.
like great stuff to talk about.
We're almost
but we'll
an hour
save it
in.
for the Patreon.
Yeah.
Because and you'll just have to go and listen to that
Right.
if you want to.
Any good fatherly advice?
Yeah, let's see. There always are. Okay, that one's way too serious.
Well, I don't want a serious one.
No, because especially. Okay, this one.
See, like, look at good mom. She goes, breakfast is ready. I mean, she's a good mom.
Yeah,
you,
great.
You guys, I'm telling you, you don't realize how fucking good your mother is. She's so.
I think
Like, you're gonna
we
see
definitely
she's
do,
such a
but
good person,
especially like dating and like getting to know women as women,
and how good normal she is.
it makes it like, oh yeah, mom definitely was better, because it's like when it's like when I date women, I'm dating to be like, okay, how will she be as a wife? How will she be as a mother?
Correct.
And a lot of the times it's like, oh God.
Sometimes people grow into that role too as a mother.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a little
but
bit
that's
different.
also scary. That's a whole other conversation.
scary,
I
correct.
think about that all the time. It's like definitely people change as they age and as they have kids, but like
both good
what if they
and
change
bad.
for the worse?
No, by the way,
I've heard stories
people
of,
change both for the better and for the
and I
worse.
guess it's
That's
just
it.
out of your control. But I've heard
listen.
stories from people your age, like friends of yours who are like divorced or whatever, that will tell me like, oh yeah, like they just like changed
True, but
at
that's
40.
Also, but that's also a perception too, right? Then I'm going to tell you about the positive attributes.
Of course.
I will
But
tell
that
you. Bron,
scares me.
listen, Bron,
Because it's like, I don't want to get divorced.
listen, nobody does, and you can't live that like that to think that way. But
How do you predict?
Listen, you
at
can't,
20,
you
if a
cannot-
25-year-old chick,
Well, I'm going to tell
she's
you,
gonna be like at 45.
two things. Number one is every person relationship as time goes on changes for the better and the worse, both. It's not just one
Yeah.
way. Okay, you just hope the better outweighs the worse, right? Number two, when you're younger to predict, you have to have to have similar values. You have to talk to them, see what their values are, see how they treat you, see how they treat their family, see how they treat other people out there, see what their interests are, and see how they communicate and what they want. Mom and I, the one thing about mom and I always, through good and bad times, mom and I always wanted the same things out of life.
Right. So like at the core, it was the
Same
foundation.
goals.
So then
same
if
to raise
things-
kids,
yeah.
same values, same goals, and same depth of and how what you want out of life, then you can work towards that future goal and achieve it. Now, you might figure it's a straight line when you're 25 or 26 years old, but that's not reality. So you veer off the road, and those are the bad times in a relationship or the gray areas in a relationship. But you know, as long as you're moving forward and you both want the same goal and the same things, how you want to raise your kids, how many kids you want, what is money important to you, is travel important to you, is family, holidays, all those things, you achieve that goal together. So when people break up in a relationship that might fall out of love or things might get stagnant and they say, oh, I don't want to be with her or whatever it is, to get back on that path, you have to have the same goals of what you want. That's how you have to think when you're 25, 26, 27, when you're going to meet somebody. If the person's a fucking whack dude who doesn't want the same goals, it's not, no matter how hot she might be, no matter how great of a time you have with that person, it's not going to work.
Right.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
And the looks, by the way, are important to be attracted to that person. But I'm just telling you right now that as you fall in love with them more, they've become more attractive.
Yeah, no, definitely. I understand all that stuff. Just the idea
it's
of like
scary, but
the
it's
idea
also
of like
exciting.
someone just could change.
Yeah, and so could you.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But
and that's also just like out of your control.
In business, well, there is a part that is in your control. And I'm going to tell you what it is. You ready? You, meaning a person, not just you, Bronson Bloom, having the ability to have the insight to notice if there's a deficiency or a change and to work towards it, to bring it back home, so to speak. People say, "Oh my God, I don't understand it. I understand the guy who he just."
I woke up one morning and they were a different person,
or we have no money. I don't understand. I thought we had lots of money.
That's not how
you put your head in the sand.
Yeah,
you're delusional.
Very true.
So you have to work on it. And if you have a problem, you go to therapy. You communicate. You talk about it. You have to, just like you would fight for your kids to make sure they're the best version. You have to fight for relationships to make sure it's the best version of relationship. Same in business. If you get stagnant and constantly try to market, I'll give you an example. People say, "Oh, luck." Well, I say opportunity. You create these opportunities. So if you, for example, I'm talking to somebody, I try to find a way, how can I get business out of it? Whatever it might be. You know, if I'm getting, you have to have the insight and the depth to acknowledge these things. And I call it being proactive in your life as opposed to reactive. There's plenty of lawyers that are reactive, say, "What's your problem?" When a client comes to me and say, "What's your problem?" Here's what we're not only going to do to fix it, but let's talk about what's going to happen in the next 5, 10 years. There's a difference, okay? It's planning for the future. That's what you need to plan for the future and look at the goals, but that's a whole nother story. But that's how you work on it. All right, let's do a follow the advice and get out of here.
This is a good one. It's from one of our young fans. His name's Jack. He's 14.
Oh my God, parents know he listens to this?
It says, I'm a 14-year-old that lives in a small town in Indiana, a one-stoplight town small.
Love it.
I relate to Bronson a lot as someone my age. I look up to both of you and agree with a lot of your thoughts and ideas. Now to the story. I'm in a relationship with this girl for almost a year now.
14.
Yeah. Isn't that cute? No, it's like 14. And I'm very mature for my age.
Well, I can tell by the way he's writing it.
I tend to overthink a lot when it comes to my relationship with this girl. I trust her a lot. I feel like I know enough about her to know she won't do anything. I just want to know how to deal with thinking like this about what if she does something or what if I'm not good enough. I want to get your thoughts on the matter and how not to overthink things.
Okay, can I call him Bronson Jr. number one? So
I don't overthink.
I'm teasing you. What's his
name? I'm the opposite. I
name?
underthink. Jack,
listen to me. You're 14. I appreciate you writing this and thinking about it, but honestly, bro, you shouldn't be thinking about this stuff.
Well, so what's advice to not
go play some video games?
How not to overthink?
Relax. Just relax. You're a 14-year-old kid. This is something you should be talking to me at when you're 26.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the advice that I would give would be like, which we say all the time on the show, like it is what it is the best way to not overthink something. So it's like you're with this girlfriend, you guys like each other, so it is what it is. Like if something happens, it's gonna happen. If something right, like whatever happens. So just like enjoy the moment with the person.
Yeah, Jake, you're not marrying her, so it doesn't matter.
Right, dude, you're 14.
You're not married.
How
it does
funny
not
is
matter.
that? Like
it's
14,
cute, isn't it?
It's
cute?
so cute. 14.
And I'm not trying to minimize.
No, me neither. Not at all. I'm not trying to like diminish or belittle you for your age. It's just like so nice that you're like 14. You're like worried about your girlfriend. It's like, dude, you're gonna have 20 other girlfriends in your life.
Right, if not more. Right. So listen, just go with it. Just enjoy it. Be in the moment. At 14, be in the moment every minute of the day. And
you trust her. Like, what, dude? You're 14. She's not gonna like fuck around on you.
Mom, drive me to Barry's house.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
she's gonna like go have sex with. You guys are 14.
Right,
she's not gonna like sleep around on you.
Yeah, I think you're stressing too much. And listening to our podcast where we talked about Bronny was that like the growth you said of us not. This is a good segue of this.
Right, it's fitting.
Right, it's fitting. Don't sweat it. Use this as growth.
I just want to know how to deal with thinking, like with overthinking things. Just how,
growth.
Like, what advice would I give? I mean, just like it is what it is.
You need
like,
to relax.
You're like just every day is what's going to happen is going to happen. So just like 14. Enjoy the moment.
You should be watching cartoons. You need to relax.
Go change your diaper, Jack.
No. So you need to relax and use this as your growth to put in perspective that for someone, let's say Bronson, who's has a place and a mortgage and expenses and work, and there's things you need to think about. And like you have nothing to think about right now.
Yeah, but when you're 14, I remember being 14.
It's important to you.
The whole world is girls, your friends, what you guys are doing after school on Friday. That's the whole world. So it like that is as important.
I
to
get
them.
it, but worrying about what your 14-year-old girlfriend's doing right now.
But that's all you have to worry about at 14.
You need to put in perspective and just go with the flow.
And the thing here's what it is, Jack. There's nothing to worry about, right? You said you guys are happy,
right?
You've been dating for a year.
But he says how does he overcome overthinking it?
So just reflect on
jerk off more.
Reflect on, is he even jerking off? Yeah, at 14. Yeah, you are. Just reflect. Okay, if you're starting to overthink things or worry about whatever, right? Think, what do I have to worry about? We've been happy. We've been dated for a year, and you said I trust her a lot. So it's like, what do you have to overthink?
And you don't think
what do you have to overthink?
And
there's
Jack,
nothing to think about.
Jack, there's gonna be a lot more things in life. This is a good training exercise for you because there's gonna be a lot more things that are more pressure and more stressful that you will overthink or think about that you can have pressures on. So you shouldn't have it with this. If your relationship is good and you're 14, don't worry about it.
Right. Just if you start going down that like anxiety spiral, just think, what am I worried about? Oh, okay. Is she gonna kiss another boy? Okay, but she hasn't. She hasn't shown me anything to do that.
Then you kiss another girl.
So then don't. Right. So then that stops that. Is she gonna stop liking me? Okay, if she does, then she does. That's out of your control.
You're not marrying her. You're not marrying her. So just enjoy it.
Are you gonna get shoved in your locker?
Okay. All right, Jack. We hope we helped you. Tough one to answer, but you're just gonna have to just go with the flow. All right, guys. Happy holidays. Next one. We'll see you in New Year's. All right.
Bye. Yeah. And join the Patreon.
Love you, Bronny.
Love you too.
You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.